For the third straight year, the Florida Panthers are heading back to the Stanley Cup Final and are without a doubt the gold standard of what success looks like in the NHL. The very team that emulates their style in the Carolina Hurricanes fell short in 5 games, and in Game 5, we saw just how deadly this Panther team can be, even when they aren't at their best. So, let's take a look at how the Panthers moved on and what it means for the rest of the league moving forward. Now, Game 5 was a rocky start for Florida. In our Game 4 breakdown, we talked about how the Hurricanes finally had success beating the Panthers forecheck, and one of the ways they were successful at it was by using these high flips whenever they were in immediate danger. It's not the greatest way to control the pace of the game, but against a team like Florida, you can punt your problems down the ice and have an attacker give chase in the process, so hopefully you can force a turnover. 5 minutes into the first period, Carolina's Svechnikov gets the puck and he's backpedaling into his own end. Now down the wall, he's got pressure, and also he's got pressure coming from the net. So he says, screw this, I'm not dealing with it, and he airmails it. It goes right to Forsling on the Panthers, who's going to try and make a cheeky little play over to Barkov, but Aho, the Dario, reads it like a textbook. Picks off the pass, it's a B-way, and he beats Officer Bobrovsky under the glove and over the pad. Canes fans are going nuts, 1-0. Let's take her to the end of the first, and it's still 1-0, and the Panthers are buzzing in the O-zone. Their pressure is everywhere on our boy with 2 first names in Jackson Blake. He's got Barkov breathing down his neck. His options in the middle are closed off, so don't do anything stupid. High flip that garbage out of there and give chase. That is exactly what they do, and Carolina is going to pressure Mikkola, who picks up the puck right away. Now, this is an awkward spot for a defenseman. You're not quite confident enough to go D-to-D with the pressure coming at you, and you're skating backwards with possession. So the safest bailout option is, of course, to go up the boards. Aho again. Call this guy Professor X with his ability to read people's minds in this game. He cuts off the wall play, and now he's got a ton of speed with possession against Mikkola. With Mikkola backing up, that gap has Aho licking his chops. Mikkola also gives Aho a nice screen with his legs being the size of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it leaks through underneath the arm of Officer Bob again. 2-0 Hurricanes. What's going on here? The Hurricanes look like the Panthers look like the Hurricanes. Paul Maurice goes into the locker room, cancels all the DQ trips for Brad Marchand, flips a table and says, let's get back to our game here. In the second period, Carolina doesn't do themselves any favors. Kotkaniemi, all-time brain fart on this penalty, just loses body positioning and bear hugs Rodriguez. 2 minutes for you can't do that. Get in the box, pal. Think about what you did wrong, and now Florida's power play has a chance to get them back in this game. You need some energy. It starts with Captain Sasha Barkov. Carolina's going to win this draw, and watch him just bust his ass right to the far end boards to cut off the clearing attempt. He wins this 50-50 puck by absorbing the contact, getting the retrieval, and now the Panthers set up. Reinhart slips through, opens up the space. We go D-to-D. Ekblad sifts one through traffic, and Tkachuk tips it home. Now they got some life. 30 seconds later, we know how similar these two teams are in their execution, right? So Florida takes a page out of Carolina's winning formula in Game 4 with stretch passes. Look at Seth Jones here. Remember when everyone's like, he can't play, he's all washed up? How about shedding you up with the little twinkle toes on Logan Stankoven? Quick cutback to beat the F1, and you'll notice that there's 4 Panthers in the zone and no pressure on the boards from Carolina. Why? Because Tkachuk has darted to the offensive blue line to get Carolina's D pressure to back off. The stretch pass is a success. They beat Carolina's forecheck, simple bump pass underneath, and you can't draw it up any better. The execution is flawless, and Rodriguez ties it up for the Panthers. 2-2, the Hurricanes are spinning, and not even 4 minutes later, the Panthers have an O-zone draw and are going to run a set play. Marchand, the right winger here, is going to come underneath on the faceoff win and then curl towards the net, but watch Lundell off the faceoff. Not only does he win the faceoff, but he's just going to beat Aho to the net like an ox. It's a quick backdoor bang-bang play, and just like that, poof, all of Carolina's hard work is gone. After going into the second up by 2, they head into the third down by 1. Gotta stick to it if you're the Hurricanes, though, and pressure every chance you get. A standard D pinch here by Gostisbehere on the wall shuts down that breakout, and it finds its way to Seth Jarvis, and oof, that is pretty. Little soft chip over the glove of Bob. Just a great read. Seeing that Bob gets caught with his pants down trying to go for the poke check, Jarvis hits him with the fadeaway jumper, and this is all tied up. You know Florida's going to mix it up too, and so we get the Sam Bennett special shortly after. Crashes the net. Little Shawn Michaels elbow from the top rope right to the temple anytime he gets close to the goalie. Leaf fans are seeing that and are like, whoa, whoa. That pisses off Fred X a little bit. No same-day delivery for Sam Bennett in the near future, but don't worry, because Barkov is delivering a masterclass. He gets the puck behind the net and just takes Dmitry Orlov to school. Just follow me this way, son. Holds him off like a toddler and then says, "Get off me, boy," with the cutback. And here's where it gets cheeky. Robinson here books that Verhaeghe is below the goal line, so now he's going to try and help out Orlov, but he anticipates that Barkov is going to eventually pass this puck to Verhaeghe. Nope. Barkov pulls off the vanishing act, catches him reaching, and now Verhaeghe is all alone in front, and that is the game winner. The Panthers hold on, and they go back to the Cup final for the third straight season. Afterwards, reporters asked Rod Brind'Amour if falling short multiple times in the conference finals would lead to them eventually changing their play style, to which he responded that the Panthers play the same way. They are simply the standard. This series as a whole was basically identical in how both of these teams wanted to play their system. The difference was just the level of execution and depth. The way Carolina took Game 4 was the same way that the Panthers took Games 1 to 3. Both have an aggressive forecheck that uses an entire 5-man unit, and in order to bypass that, they both use the same strategies like the high flip and the stretch pass to negate each other's forecheck. At the end of the day, it simply came down to execution, and the Panthers won that battle. They are a well-oiled machine, and whether they go on to repeat as Cup champs or not, their standard of play will have 31 other teams trying to copy their exact model to have success. Of course, this will bring up the debate of how advantageous it is for southern teams in the NHL. Some of them, like Florida, are tax-free states, which makes their deals a lot more team-friendly in the long run. Although I didn't see people saying that 10-15 years ago when the Florida Panthers were absolutely cheeks. Regardless of the advantages they may have now, no one can take away from the culture they built from top down and how they've been executing. The Panthers are changing the standard for what is successful in today's NHL, and in the process, we could be seeing a modern dynasty form right in our eyes if they go back and repeat. As for the Carolina Hurricanes, it's tough to think about what are the right next steps for this team. You could argue they need more star power, and you'd probably be right. But they did pick up Rantanen mid-season, only to trade him away after he simply just didn't fit the system. It's hard to point the finger at Rod Brind'Amour also. Despite being 1-12 in conference finals games, he still got this roster to this point. Perhaps they look at more offense from their defense, and maybe there's a better solution in net than Freddie. He was really good at times, but between the inconsistency of injuries and play, some question marks are in that position. Either way, Carolina is just another team in the East that is left soul-searching because the Panthers beat them in a 7-game series. So, what do you think of the Florida Panthers? Would you consider them a dynasty if they won back-to-back cups? Is there anyone that can stop them at this point? Let us know in the comments down below. We're doing breakdowns on every single game from now right until the end of the NHL playoffs. You can check out our Edmonton Game 4 breakdown here. So make sure you turn on notifications and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a thing.